Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Becky.
This is Girl
On Girl.
Hi. This is different.
Yeah. Hang on.
Hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, the podcast doggy. Hello.
Lovely face. And actually, my laptop comes with a built-in filter.
Yeah, I think, well,
Thing.
you do look really good.
The lockdown life. So, two things I wanted to say to you. First of all, I saw that we've had 2,000 downloads.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
So nice. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I think that people have got a bit more time to listen to them, haven't they, at the moment?
Yeah, they can binge listen now.
Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to see how you are. How are you coping with lockdown life, man?
Actually, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay, you're not the only person that I've heard this from.
I really like it. I mean, it's not like I was doing a lot of work sort of before lockdown anyway, so that makes a big difference. Obviously, this time of year, normally I'd be jetting off to somewhere cool, so I kind of missed that bit, but equally, I have, other than the negatives, which we can come on to, the negatives of the situation, but, you know, during the positives, I've really enjoyed doing things that I didn't have time to do before and have wanted to, you know, start projects over the last year and haven't had time to, and have always had to shelve things. So I've really enjoyed picking those things up. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing yoga every day, which I wasn't doing before, and not just once a day. I'm doing it like 3 times a day. So I'm meditating loads, and I'm painting at least an hour a day. And in between, I'm really enjoying stopping, which I wasn't doing, as you well know, at all.
Yeah. Well, your hand has been forced.
Yeah.
Which has lots of other people's.
Yeah. And we've gone for a walk every day. Actually, that's a lie. What we tend to do is Rupert goes, he's training for a marathon, which may or may not happen, obviously. But he's been running, and so he runs like 14K or whatever. And our whole journey, I don't run, but I cycle. The whole journey is all down the river. So we, you know, go 7K one way and come back. And
are you seeing a lot of other people out when you're doing that?
Yeah, and well, yes and no. Yes, we are not, but people aren't. People tend to be quite good. They're moving, so there aren't many static humans. You know, like people aren't lying around. People are doing their exercise. There's one part of the towpath which is quite narrow, so it's quite difficult to keep your 2 meters distance. But that really is only for a very short bit. And on the whole, people tend to be very good at this wide berth thing. I mean, honestly, if you didn't realise and you just woken up out of hibernation for a few months, you'd think that suddenly the world was much, much healthier, ironically enough, wouldn't you? People are exercising, smiling.
Just desperate to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So everyone's exercising in a way that they wouldn't have done before.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it's slightly different for me, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Because I've got the kids.
Yeah.
And the first couple of weeks, well, the first week was a bit of a novelty because obviously we're expected to now homeschool them. And I think my children kind of expected, they woke up, you know, the next morning, life had been normal. The next morning they woke up and I think they had this idea in their head that I was a qualified teacher.
Yeah.
But I'm not. And I just thought, you know, in the course of a day, I'd been like a teacher, a teaching assistant, a head teacher, a caretaker, a chef, a nurse, a mum. I mean, I'd done so many jobs in that day. And it's really, with my younger one, homeschooling, not so much of an issue. It's actually quite interesting. she does sort of like little projects about different places, and I'm learning lots and I'm helping her learn. But my older one, I don't understand any of the work. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, you spend like a lot of the time as a mum, like totally blagging it so that your kids think that you know everything.
Yeah. As a grown-up, I think that's how it works, isn't it?
Now they've realised I just don't know stuff. I've lost control, basically.
And how much pressure do you feel to be this educator?
I would say for the first couple of weeks, I felt immense pressure, but I was doing that to myself. And also the kids were kind of doing it as well. But now, I mean, we are in the Easter holidays now, so they're not actually having to do much. But I got to the point where I thought, do you know what? I'm not a teacher and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I need to stop.
Okay.
I mean, I gave myself like an alter ego. I gave myself a teacher's name so that I couldn't take it personally then when the kids were being really awful.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and I read an article by Caitlin Moran yesterday, and she was talking about the same thing. And she said the good thing about giving yourself like an alter ego teaching name and personality is that you can reward yourself. Like the children can buy you bottles of wine at the end of the week for doing a good job.
And the sorry you're leaving card that you'll get in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. And you can sort of like talk about her, like how the kids are out of control, and it's then not my fault.
Yeah, that's a really interesting approach.
But it has properly degenerated. It's not, relationships are not good in my house right now. We're not used to spending so much time together. I've got, a child who's going through puberty, and that's tough at the best of times.
Yeah, of course.
Let's, put us together 24/7. It's an absolute recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and it's funny how people have to set their boundaries, don't they? To deal, there's different boundary settings, I think, for this patch that you're going through. I really, really need my own space. It's really important to me to have my own time, even if it's an hour, but just to have that space. And obviously I don't have children, so I'm in a much more, it's a much easier situation. I spend a lot of time in this room, for example, whereas the man is down sort of in the other room doing his stuff. And,
Hang on, Alex. Hang on.
Zoom live. Jeffrey the podcast doggy.
It's been on his best behaviour.
I bet he's loving it. Honestly, I keep thinking about how dogs must. I would love to get a dog right now. If we had a garden, then we so would.
I mean, he's absolutely living his best life. He's got someone at home all the time.
It's going to make him even more needy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been really difficult because my daughter got sick, so we think she had the virus. She had fever. And,
of course. And how is she now?
She's still got a cough, but the fever's gone. But that means that the household has to obviously quarantine for 2 weeks. And I'm obviously on my own, and I've got a dog, and he can't walk himself.
No, of course.
So that's been quite difficult, actually.
So you've been jogging around the garden?
Jumping around the garden. I've had some friends who've taken him, but even that's quite risky.
Did you see that there was a tiger this morning was diagnosed with corona?
I saw that. And it was a couple of dogs I read in China had it.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, I think the risk is very, very small.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
It's just, if someone's infected and they're petting the dog and, kissing the dog or whatever, and then you potentially straight stroke him and you could pick it up. But I think that would be
highly unlikely.
Yeah. But anyway. So you were saying you are needing some time to yourself.
Yeah. But it's organic. But I mean, I was thinking about it. You know, like we've organically done it because Rupert also has time. You know, and always has, and we kind of have always been a bit like that. But I think it's really important for people to say, like, here are my needs through this actual time. Like, this is what I need for this to be okay. And how does that work for you? You know, like having quite an open chat about, this is how I can get through this. And you tell me how you can get through this. And then we work that out.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to do this on my own and have the kids full time, but I got to the point a couple of days ago where I thought, if I don't get a break, because it meant that I was having absolutely no time to myself at all, and even if I just sat down during the day for 5 minutes, one of my kids would be just, well, why are you just sitting down? We need to do something. And there was just literally no break. So they did get shipped off to their dad a couple of days ago. It transformed me.
Yeah, I bet.
I just needed some time just to be on my own, just some headspace.
And what did you do with that headspace? Did you just enjoy it and stop?
I spent a lot of time sitting down, staring into space.
Yeah.
It was so nice. And, you know, yesterday, and the weather has been so beautiful.
I love it. It means that sitting and staring into space is a lot more acceptable than when it's raining and you're just doing it on the sofa.
Like you, I'm doing a lot of yoga and a lot of fitness stuff online. And I feel I've got sort of mixed feelings about it. We're getting to this point now where I feel that people are feeling under pressure to appear to be filling their time with brilliant things and doing lots of home workouts. And I mean, as we both know, being yoga teachers, there is just like so much online yoga available at the moment. Including from us.
Yeah, it's insane. It's completely insane. Every instructor is now online. Yeah.
But I feel that, you know, I think it's a really, really great thing, but I think it's also okay to sit and stare into space and drink wine at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I agree.
I spent about 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes, thinking about McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I think it's funny, isn't it?
The random things that come into my mind.
There was a post, well, two things that went from what you were saying. There was a post that went round. In fact, I also shared it and then felt guilty about sharing it, because one of my biggest things when people have said to me, you know, if people have actually come to me and said that they're feeling a bit low and a bit lethargic and stuff like that, then I've sort of tried to encourage them by saying, don't look back on this time and regret doing the things that you had time to do, you know? Some of my creative pals and stuff. Because I know certainly with creativeness, whilst time is brilliant, time without any inspiration is really difficult. So then it's really hard to feel creative, isn't it, when you're only looking at the same walls and the same people and all those sorts of things. So it's hard to create inspiration from nothing. But equally, you don't want to look back on the 3 months or whatever and be like, God, I wish I'd done it then. But and then there was that post that was going around on Instagram saying something about now is the time to create your side hustle and all those sorts of things. And then equally, the other side is exactly what you just said. And actually, when did you ever have time just to chill and think?
And we live in a world now where it's almost frowned upon to do nothing. You can't, you should always be doing stuff, and we've never ever experienced anything like this before, and I just think there is no right or wrong way to behave, and it might be right for you to do 8 hours a day of fitness videos and come out of it at the end with abs. That's kind of my goal. But it's also all right just to stay in your pajamas and stare into space thinking about cheeseburgers all day.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
I'm trying, because initially I'd put on a heap of 8 a.m. classes and a few other things, and then 8 p.m. classes. And then on day 4, really regretted the 8 a.m. because me getting up at 7:30 is not ever a great thing. It's never been my ball, that. So then I stopped my 8 a.m. for a few days, and then over the weekend as well, I categorically spend the weekend eating and drinking and chilling as well. I don't go anywhere near any exercise. But then come Monday morning, I'm really lethargic. And so then I did my 8 a.m. class again, and then was actually, I need that kickstart. I need that routine is quite important to me. So my Monday to Friday routine is quite strict, and then I do the polar opposite on Saturday and Sunday, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, I am trying to make it different during the week so that you kind of know where you're at, because otherwise the days just sort of merge.
Oh my God, yeah.
But so many people have said to me that they feel so tired at the moment, and I'm the same. But I think that we're dealing with so much, aren't we? And we must all just have this underlying anxiety about, what's going on, and this sadness. I mean, I'm sure it's the same for you, but I'm missing my family. I'm missing my dad. I'm missing my friends so much. I mean, you can speak to them all the time on, FaceTime or whatever, but it's just not the same as that physical.
A hug is such a human need.
Yeah.
Even animals do it, kissing, sex, whatever. But a hug is actually really, really something that we really need, I think. And
I think about people living on their own, and I'm not just talking about elderly people, all sorts of people that could be living on their own. I mean, it's tough, isn't it, to just not have that physical contact with the human.
Yeah, really, really hard. Yeah, I really miss my family a lot. I find as well, I don't know about you, when you're saying about that undercurrent of anxiety and stress and stuff, I found I was a bit of a roller coaster the first week, if you like, and we were in isolation for the extra week before because of McLaren as well. By week 2, and then when you see the news sort of getting more and more serious and all that sort of stuff, I'd find that one day, if I didn't think about it all too much and not catastrophize in my head, then I was okay and positive and proactive. And then literally the next day, I would be the polar opposite. I'd be utterly exhausted / maybe a bit depressed even, definitely a little bit anxious and thinking about things too much.
Well, I think this is it. And I think for me as well, there are days when you're sort of projecting. So you're thinking, how long is this going to go on for? What am I actually dealing with here?
Yeah.
Am I going to be living this kind of life for another few weeks? Is it going to be 6 months? And because there's no end, and we're so used to being in control of stuff in our lives, and we've lost that control. And because we don't know when it's going to end, I think it's just so hard, isn't it, to get your head around it?
Yeah. But there's a real learning in that. Like, we think that we can control things, and actually we never can. You know, we can only ever control the way we deal with stuff in everything. And we hate the fact that it's been taken out of our hands, that, like you say, there's not knowing. But equally, there's something really, I think, really good in learning that.
Yeah, and there are days when I will have that mindset of thinking, all I can do is be in the present. That's all I have. You know, I've never been in control of anything, blah, blah, blah. And I can really get on board with that. And then there are days where you just kind of lose your shit, don't you? And just think, I can't do this. This is too hard.
Yeah.
But well, what do we have? And I think a lot of people are saying, aren't they, that they've just stopped listening to the news, they've stopped watching. They find it just, and there's you kind of need to be informed about what's going on, but there's just too much of it, isn't there?
Yeah, I think that it's a quite a negative thing to do, to sit and watch the whole lot and get absorbed. And I mean, you know, there are other ways to look at stats and stuff as well. You know, like, if every day we were told how many deaths that day from car accidents or from normal flu, and every single day we were informed of that figure, we'd never get in a car again, or we'd never walk by the road again. It's just, and so we're being constantly fed this information about people dying, which is utterly awful. And, you know, it's been really close to home recently, but it's still not that high in comparison. And I think that perspective is really important to have. And it's only because it's that plus the not knowing. But we don't know if we're going to get hit by a car every time we walk out, you know?
Yeah, and also there's the fact that I know, you know, obviously it's been up and down with the kids and blah, blah, blah. But my life, you know, I live in a lovely place, got a garden, I can sit out in fields to watch, you know, and really great friends that I can speak to. And I was reading a thing this morning about, you know, the number of calls that have increased to the domestic abuse helplines and things like that. And you just think some people are locked in literally in the most horrendous situations.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what the state people will be in, you know, at the end of this.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the more worrying things, is the long-term mental health impact. I think that's so true. I think that the domestic violence plus the combination of that and this, we are looking at our screens much more than we were before, and we're around, you know, it's not very healthy for us, so even physically, mentally, as well as like that constant look down at your phone thing, you know, the waves and everything that's going on, you know, I think is also really bad. I think it's really important to have like time out from technology during it all as well.
And that it's quite funny. I was chatting to somebody last night, and we was talking about what we were doing, you know, and I was just like reading a book, he was watching a film, and I was thinking, we are just doing this, you know, really nice, quiet stuff. And I think people are getting to the point where they're thinking, I just don't want to be on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reading, you know, inspirational quotes on Instagram.
No.
I just want to be alone, literally. I could easily, you know, just cut off. And I think so many of us have just really needed this time to just be able to stop.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it will, like at the moment, it's like everyone has thrown up their own dice, and then gradually things will just land, won't it? You know, there's the initial panic phase, like panic for, I mean, I'm not earning, but I haven't been earning for weeks.
Yes.
So there was that initial like, geez, that's an entire year of income that I have just lost overnight. Of, literally, there's no way, but there's nothing I can do about it. And that's the only reason why I'm doing so many online classes, is out of the actual, I have no choice.
Yeah, that's another one of those things, isn't it? That I'm the same. Before this all happened, I was just starting to get my life back together.
Yeah, both of us, and both of our classes, and and your job.
There was some great jobs on the table
that
have now been, put on hold, and I don't know if they're even going to happen. And my money earning prospects were great, and now we're really, really bad again. And it is so difficult to not allow yourself to get into this really stressed out mindset about it, because what can we do? None of us can do anything about it.
No, I find there's a real security in that, though. I mean, thank God I'm in a position where I've got help, like my partner can help with the rent. Otherwise, I would have to just sofa hop or something like that, I think, probably. But there's some sort of security net in the fact that everybody is going through it as well. Everybody can relate to it in some way or another. And even big companies now are being, having their wages cut, and, so people can really, really relate to it, I think.
And funny enough, I said to somebody I think it might have been you, said to someone the other day that after I had my accident, this kind of happened to me. So basically, I couldn't go to work. No. I couldn't leave my house. I was completely isolated. I lost money. My entire life just changed overnight. And this feels very, very similar. But for me, sounds so bad, it feels easier to deal with because A, I've been through it before, and B, everyone else is doing it at the same time. Yeah. So we're all sort of relating to one another.
Yeah. You're like, ha ha, welcome to my world. Now you understand.
Yeah, I feel bad for saying that, but that was, this feels very similar. Yeah. And it was horrendous at the time, because I remember, that desperately wanting just to get out of the house and to go somewhere, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I physically couldn't do it. And I just felt completely lost. So this does feel slightly better.
Ironically as well, one of my close family members is quite reclusive. And I think that for him, it's probably doing his mental health quite a lot of good. This knowing that there's no pressure in not leaving the house. There's no pressure in earning money, because no one can and no one has that expectation right now. So for the people who struggle with those social pressures, hopefully are feeling a bit of relief as well.
I wonder how difficult it's going to be to adjust to normal life again at the end of this.
Yeah, my gut is like, I don't really want to.
We don't know, like I've said before, we don't know how long it's going to last. I have no idea when my children are going to go back to school. And I just can't imagine, wanting to sort of go out into the world again.
No, and go back to chaos. That's what I don't want. I think that, they're going to have to put things back in gradually. I mean, it's hard for you and I, because it's not like life is going to completely change. Where are we going to go anyway?
We're just going to be doing the same old stuff.
Literally.
You're going to go. You'll go away. You'll go and do work.
Yeah, but that won't. There's no way that will start this year. Not a chance in hell. before next April. There's no way that we're going to have a season. So I'm not going to go anywhere this year.
Yeah. I don't, and I have literally no idea what's going to happen in my life.
Also, I wonder.
I'm going to actually go and do some work next week. I'm going to don my nurse's uniform and go and take blood for a few hours.
Are you? Oh, that's really good.
Well, yeah, it will get me out of the house.
Yeah, that's amazing. Good for you. That's really good. I wonder how, like, the long-term impact of physical touch as well, you know, like how much that'll impact things like our classes and stuff like that.
Do you know what's interesting as well is I was talking to somebody about this the other day because we were reading a thing about dating apps, and the use of dating apps has literally gone through the roof. And it's so interesting. People have this fundamental need for connection with others. And so you're seeing it through that. People are just wanting to reach out and connect, even though obviously there's no chance of any dating or any, you know, physical contact, although I'm sure there are probably still some people out there saying, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There must be, mustn't there? There must be people, given that there are people taking risks by, you know, even sunbathing together, there must be people who are
trying it still.
Yeah.
Not me. But it's, I kind of like it. I like that people, you know, when you strip it all away, there is still that people just want connection with others.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bizarre. What do you think you'll do, like going out wise, when we're allowed
What do you mean?
to? Like, do you envisage going to the pub, or, you know?
I dream about going to the pub. It's like torture. I live next door to a pub, so I see it every day, and it's like just a little reminder. In fact, they dropped around a bottle of wine the other day, actually.
Did they? That's nice.
So that I'm not alone. But I think I really long for doing some of these things. I long for, like, just going for long walks with my friends and lovely long lunches. And this is what I was saying, me and my daughter were saying the other day, is that we really took for granted, like, going out for dinner.
Yeah. Can I just point out, though, like, we're all saying this stuff. It's actually only been 3 weeks. Like, I quite often don't drink for 3 weeks or see mates for 3 weeks. Like, that's not unusual for me to not. You know, so far I haven't had any desire whatsoever to go on a house party, and I can't think of anything worse, actually, than having, like, 8 people chatting at the same time. To me, that's just chaos and not something that I think maybe ask me in about 4 months' time, but I'm not up for these weird...
That's a real personality thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, you know, you live with somebody as well, so you got that, you know, communication need is met. But it's made me see just how sociable I am. I'm just out all the time with my friends.
That's amazing.
And I don't mean I'm out, you know, going out drinking.
No, but coffees and lunch, whatever.
Yeah, and even if it's just like 10 minutes and I just go walk around the park with the dog with a friend, I do see people all the time, and I really need that.
Yeah.
So I've discovered that about myself.
Yeah, so maybe I've discovered that actually I really don't want that.
Such a misery. Just don't like people. Don't FaceTime me.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, even this, we haven't tried really at all, have we, to even attempt?
But I haven't done one.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I look at friends and I'm like, God, every night you're on a bloody Zoom call with all your mates and celebrating it and stream, sticking on Instagram. I'm like, God, at night I just want to chill out and.
I mean, I've got like two sort of best friends that we regularly have these, group chat FaceTime calls with.
Yeah.
And my sister, but I'm not going mad for it. I'm not on a house party, getting drunk with my mates every night. But I miss going out with them, and I miss, me and my friends are very tactile, and always hug, and I really do miss that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But some people, I think. I was talking to Mr. Hammersmith yesterday, and he's like, I can almost feel like with him, he's been desperate for some time on his own to not have the pressure of going out and doing stuff. And he's actually, like you, been really, really enjoying this time to just focus on stuff he wants to do.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is though as well, because I did feel like I was being pulled from pillar to post over the last few months. And so actually, maybe that is that sort of same thing of like, actually, it's just stop. Maybe I just need that reset as well.
Yeah, it's a reset. That's exactly what it is. It's just like you're being switched off and turned on again.
Yeah. Sounds quite fun.
Been long time till I'm turned on again.
So what do you do this afternoon? What time is it now? 1:00.
I literally have no idea. I'm probably going to think about nothing for a little while. I'm teaching a class later.
What time?
Online. That's not till 8:00.
Oh yeah, that's the same time as mine. I need to do. I need to change my Monday night class so I can come and do yours. I haven't done anybody else's.
Yeah, this evening. It's a busy class tonight.
That's great.
It's difficult to know the time to do it because some people feel 8:00 is too late.
It's really hard, but then I put on a 6:00 and that's dead. I've got a 6 and an 8.
People having like kids and tea time and stuff. So I do it 8:00 on a Monday, 7:00 on a Wednesday, and if people can come, they can come.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I am actually doing an Instagram live shortly, which is my first one, and I don't even know why I'm doing it. Just to.
I toyed with doing it, and then I felt like, because I'm still charging for my classes, because I do need to try and keep a roof over my head, I felt that if I was offering Instagram Live like a free streaming class, it kind of wasn't fair to the customers that I had.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's exactly how I feel. And I've got a couple of people who are paying for membership.
I almost feel like a bit under pressure to do it because everyone else is doing it. So I'm just trying to fight that and just stick to my...
Yeah, I'm literally doing a condensed class. And that's the only one I'm doing. That's it, to lure people over. I really ought to get off this chat with you and go and watch you do this and follow it, but I'm probably not. I'm probably going to spend more time. I'd get off devices, full stop, yeah.
Might eat some crisps.
Oh, yum. Yeah, I haven't eaten yet today. But I did have literally the biggest barbecue yesterday. It was the best in the world, but we had... if I put the meat and the veg and stuff that I ate, if you had it all on one plate in one go...
Disgusting.
Oh my God. Like obscene. I don't know what it is with barbecues, why you feel like you have to have a burger and a shed load of chicken and a load of prawns and loads of vegetables and.
Yeah. No, I didn't do that.
It was great.
Another thing I was just going to say, my friend was saying to me the other day, because we're all spending so much time on FaceTime, we're all looking at our faces. I reckon there's going to be a massive boom in like cosmetic correction at the end of this.
Not if your filter keeps working like that. You don't need it at all.
I've been getting a lot of sleep as well, though, remember?
Oh, sleep. This has just been the best thing ever to catch up on some of that. That is for sure. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you. It's nice to talk. It's nice that we all feel that we're not alone.
Yeah, it's good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, and we'll definitely try to do some more.
Definitely.
And we'll talk about stuff that's not to do with coronavirus.
Yes, this is true. Not that we'll have any inspiration to chat about anything else unless something dramatic happens this week.
I'm going to think of stuff. I'm going to think of stuff that we can talk about that's not related, just to give everyone a break.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.